Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another episode of Vetted with Hollis and Irving and Hollis. I'm Irving. That's Big Dog right there. He's not in the studio with me today. He's on the other side of the state somewhere. But go ahead, Big Dog. Give me your first read.
Well, the bird schedule is out, and I know everybody's trying to plan their trip. You gotta put me on the camera. There you go. Thank you. That's what now we're cooking with bacon grease.
You stay in the studio.
Yeah. The bird schedule is out, and everybody's planning the trip, the away trips for the birds. And when you're doing that, sometimes you think, how can I best do this? I say go to phillysportstrips.com and hook yourself up with a quality trip. We stay in the best hotels, have the best flight, the best food, the whole shebang. Just come up and let us handle everything. Sign up and we'll handle everything. Tell them the tank sent you. Or tell them you heard it on A2D radio. That's phillysportstrips.com. And I forgot to add this. Don't forget to get my damn Skippy t-shirt on Philly Sports Shirt. I've been trying to promote my damn Skippy t-shirts. If you see them, you'll like them. They're pretty decent. I've been selling a few of them here and there. But Philly Sports Trips and Philly Sports Shirts are together. But to go to Philly Sports Trips and tell them that the tank sent you.
Did you just threaten everybody to buy? It sounded like you threatened the people.
I mildly threatened them.
You mildly threatened them? Okay, well, that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Listen, we have a guest coming in today, but before that, we're going to ask it's the agree or disagree. I'm sorry.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. Throw that up there for us, Ralph, would you please? And the agree to disagree is the Eagles will win, watch this, 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years. Do you agree or disagree? I'm going to ask Barrett that first, our guest coming in.
Okay.
Do you think the Eagles will win? Do you agree that the Eagles will win 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years? We have a great guest coming in today. Actually, it's the first guest of our show, Vetted, since we started. A former teammate, both of mine and Hollis's, none other than Mr. Barrett Brooks, NBC Philly Sports Analysis. What's up, Big Dog?
What's going on,
Big Dog?
There we go. I mean, I met both of these guys in 1996.
Correct.
My second year in the league, and it's funny. I got so many stories to tell about both of them, but I'm gonna keep them back. I'm not gonna tell them all.
We're gonna ask you a bunch of questions today. 9 years in the NFL, right?
12 years.
Was it 12?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to have them fix Wikipedia then, man. They only have you playing 9 years.
I collected many shares from many owners, so yeah.
You did. Eagles, Lions, Browns, Broncos, Packers, Giants, Steelers won a Super Bowl 40 with the Steelers.
Yeah,
he did exactly what your older guys were preaching to me when I came in there. He said, "Don't let them push you out. You go out kicking and screaming."
Well, listen, man, you could file for unemployment in a lot of different states.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania is one of them.
I got 100% disability rating right now. I already know.
Good to have you on, man. We just want to talk a little bit of. We don't want to hold you long. We know you have to get off at 5:25. We'll probably going to a commercial around that time. But we're happy to have you on. You're an asset, man, and just a great brother. I want to ask you. Well, 2 questions first. The first one is what we're asking everybody else. Do they agree or disagree that the Eagles will win 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years?
I have to say I agree. I've drank the Kool-Aid. And that's simply because the quarterback position, man. If you got a dominant quarterback back there and a dominant defense, and I do think the Eagles will have a dominant defense this year, that's the makings of having a championship team.
Right.
Jalen Hurts will will by himself at least 2 or 3 games. And the defense, especially with their pass rushing ability, will, take this game to another level also. So the makings of a great team are here, just as long as health stays the way it is. And, I mean, they had all 22 starters that started day one playing that Super Bowl. That's almost unheard of. So they know how to take care of these guys' body. And what they're doing is actually working. It's not like when we got there, we beat each other up. They're not doing that anymore. I guess it's working.
Well, you're right, and it's not necessarily agreeable to all of us who played, years before. But if it's working, and like you said, the starting 22 offensively and defensively, if they all started in the Super Bowl, then what they're doing is definitely working for sure. that offense is before the season, preseason, it's ranked number 1 right now. All the sports writers and stuff, they have the offense. The Eagles' offense is ranked number 1. The Eagles' defensive line is ranked number 2 behind the Titans going into the season. So I agree too. I believe, and that's why I kind of put that agree to disagree up there, is because I believe the Eagles are in that window right now where they can stay on top and be a competitor, a legitimate competitor for the Super Bowl every year for the next 5 years, and they ought to win at least 2. At least 2.
Well, I tell you what, it's the reason why they should win 2 over the next 5 years is because of exactly what Barrett said, but it's it's the line, it's the guys up front and the quarterback. It's like you got you have a franchise quarterback. But the thing that I have learned in watching this game is if you don't have the guys up front on both sides of the ball that are dogs, you're not going nowhere. It's like if you look at Cincinnati. When they lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl, it was because their offensive line sucks. It's like when you get there, it's like that's the difference. The offensive defensive line, and a lot of people don't realize that. And you have to have that signal caller. That's your general. That commands everything. And the other part of that agree to disagree, if they don't win 2 in the next 5 years, that head coach is going to be gone out of here like somewhere.
Right.
But you know what? Both of you are right. Big Dog, you're right, because I don't care how much the game changes. It's changed into a passing game right now. They don't run the ball as much as they used to. But now it's an aerial assault every week, and the people love it. But it doesn't matter how much you change the game or try to change in that aspect to make it more exciting. It all boils down to whether or not it gets done up front. I don't care how whatever else you change. If the defense doesn't put pressure on the offense, they're going to get their behinds whooped. They put the pressure on by the defensive line and that rush and stopping the run. And if that offensive line cannot open holes and protect that quarterback on passing plays, it doesn't matter. They're not going to win games. So it doesn't matter how much you change it. It all boils down to what you're doing up front.
I had a question for Barrett. You play offensive line, so people have heard me say this, but when you was playing offensive line, what was your favorite thing to do against the defense?
Oh, run the ball. As a defensive line, I'll tell you this: there was nothing more intimidating to a defense, and if you run the ball on them and they can't stop it, they will turn on each other if you're running the ball and they can't.
Get your gap. They start fussing at each other. Yeah.
That's just what it is. And you both of you guys are absolutely right. The trench warfare is where the game is won. And right now, I think we have a top 3 as far as offensive line and defensive line, the best defensive line, and offensive line in the NFL right now. And when you have those bookends with Lane and Mailata, you got the best center in football in Kelsey. You got a Pro Bowler in Dickerson on the left side, and we'll see what they do on this right side. Right side guard. They drafted a guy.
You like him?
Juergens. I do like him. I think he needs to get that explosiveness. It's going to take him a little while to get that explosiveness. Right now, he gets off the ball a little too slow. He'll eventually learn it. But right now, Cam Juergens is the guy right now, and I think that everybody's saying he's too small. He's the same size as Isaac Seumalo before he left. He's the same exact size.
I said he was small.
We had that argument, Barrett. Hollis and I had that argument, and I said Cam Juergens as well. And Hollis says he's too small.
I said he's too small, mainly because it's like when you get it, he's gonna be the victim of circumstance. Put it that way. It's like this beat. It's like you play guard a little bit because you got rocks in your pocket. Right? So it was nothing for you to kick down there, but a center kicking over there is way different, man. It's like you got to remember one thing. Now you have 2 people that you can put 2 big dogs on and go after. Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like Kelsey. I think he can hold his own to a certain extent because I think he's learned over the years how to go against a big dog. But you got 2 guys that are right at that 3 bells, and you got the other team having the guys coming in at 315, 320, like licking their chops, like, oh yeah, I got.
Well, see, there it is though. Well, Kelsey, that's the problem. Kelsey's only like we're talking about mid-season.
Right.
He's probably 280 at the time.
I know.
I think Juergens is bigger than he is. I think because we think center. Kelsey small. Juergens is actually 305, and probably
that means what? That means during the season he's 295.
Well, I know, but Seumalo's the same size though. It's just his hair made him look a little bigger.
So Barrett, if there is a weakness, whether it's offensively or defensively, with the Eagles this year, 2023 season, what, in your opinion, what is that weakness? Where is it that they need to shore up? What position do they need to shore up, and where could they be most vulnerable going into this season?
I think they're complete at every asset on the offensive side of the ball. I think they're complete. They can work their way around, the inefficiencies at the offensive line at the right guard position, because you got 2 Pro Bowlers on either side of the right guard. So whoever's ever there will be protected. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest weakness that we have is in the middle of that defense. The middle of the defense at the linebacker position. We got one guy, Morrow. He played a lot. He's played a lot, but he's only 215, 220.
Yeah. But the thing, Barrett, and I know what you're saying. My thing with them is continuity. You got some new guys on defense.
Yep.
And they haven't. It's like, even though you still got your 2 veteran corners. It's like, but the safeties are, we got 2 new safeties, and then there's building that continuity. So it helps that Jordan and Nakobe Dean played together. But I'm interested to see. We talked about this last week. I'm interested to see if Jordan Davis is going to make that vaunted second year jump. Yeah. To be that dominant force in the middle.
He's key. Hollis, if he can come in, everybody just thinking just on rundowns. It's not just the rundowns. I mean, a guy like yourself, if you could collapse the pocket,
thank you,
and step up. I believe that he could do that. You know what I'm saying? He can collapse that pocket.
He ought to have some help. I mean, Carter coming in, he can definitely play both the run and the pass. And it's not just Jordan Davis. We're watching to see if he makes that second year leap, as most players in the NFL do, who end up doing a good job and having a good career in the NFL. But it's Nakobe Dean. Yeah. We're going to be watching Nakobe. Nakobe has got to step up this year. Because he's filling in some blanks. He's going to play a lot this year. I did see him, as you two also saw him last year. The times he did get a chance to get in the game, he was flying around the field. He looked like he understood, and we know it was the end of the game, and the game was pretty much over. But he was flying around the field, making tackles, looking like he knew what he was doing, and looking like he was enjoying and being dominant. Yeah, being dominant.
The kid that I do also want to see is Milton. We drafted him in the 3rd round, and we skipped on a fellow big dog nose guard that they kind of got one of the scouts probably fired because he was pissed off that we skipped over the kid out of NC State and then drafted Milton. He's done decent in spot duty. He's had some good times. I'm waiting on him to build more consistency, because you can make plays here and there. If you can count them on one hand, then you're not making enough plays.
All right, Barrett, stick around. But I'm sorry, Hollis, to interrupt, but we got to go to a commercial. Barrett, stick around. I know we got a few more minutes with you. Not you, Hollis. We got a video. Okay. Ralph, hit it.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right, we're back in the house, vetted with Irving and Hollis, and we have our special guest today, first guest on our show since we started this show.
Yep.
None other than our brother, former teammate, NBC sports analyst. Forget me, not football. You know all the sports. That's something that's something I struggle with, man. Knowing all the names with all the sports, man, you're good. And then you do some college color, don't you? Don't you do some college color?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's the
man.
I love that. I do that on the weekends. I do college football on the weekends. I'll probably be with the Big 12 this year, so I got to make sure I get back to the pre and post game show, man. But I tell you what, I do college football on the weekends, and I mean, I like that even more because I see these young kids trying to make it, even though they paid now. I mean, they got kids making $2 million in college now. Can you believe that?
Wait a minute, how much? $2
million. $2 million.
$2 or $3 million. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they're taking the pay cut when they come to the NFL.
Man,
right.
We were born too soon, brothers. We were born too soon. Born too soon.
Right on time.
So I'm going to ask you, because Big Dog and I, Hollis and I have gone back and forth on this as well. So do we need, is it more of an urgency to shore up that right guard position on the offensive line, or do we need another receiver?
You know what? I think
question.
guard. Yeah, it's a great question because Stoutland University, man, they just churn them out. And they make sure that, they put guys on. He has actually made great players out of average players. Like Nate Herbig wasn't a great player. Nate Herbig wasn't a good player. He basically took Stoutland University, used it to the best of his ability, and ended up, signing a great deal with the Jets and now with the Steelers. He could teach those guys and, in Stoutland University to be good. So I'm going to say the right guard position will be okay because they got guys that could be there.
What happens after our second receiver? I mean, okay, we've got Goddard.
That's key.
We've got DeVonta Smith, and we've got, A.J. Brown. Who's after that? What happens if one of those cats go down?
Oh, Blackers?
Who?
No. We got OZ. OZ now.
Quez had his chance.
What's OZ? The kid here, he's actually from Philadelphia.
Zachariah?
St. Joe's, yeah. He's I guess he's the heir apparent right now. He's
Zachariah? Did you really just say Zachariah?
Did he ever?
He's not proven. He's not proven. We do. And fortunately, I mean, we saw it a little bit last year because A.J. Brown was dinged up a little bit. DeVonta seems to stay healthy. He's just a soldier, man, and he's real thin, but he's not fragile at all. He's just a soldier. But, man, God forbid one of those cats goes down and they're going to miss, 2 or 3 or possibly 4 games with some type of injury. What do we have behind that?
You can't put Crash out there. You can't put Crash out.
None of the receivers that we have on the team right now behind those 2 can go out there and start and perform.
Well,
and be productive and help this team stay at the level that it's capable of playing.
I don't even have the counterattack to that.
And that's why I said, DeAndre Hopkins, we should pick him up.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, A.J. Brown and, how the ball won't get spread around. And he had this little temper tantrum last year because he didn't get the ball. You know what? If he's going to have a temper tantrum like that, he's going to have one anyway.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So y'all call Covey crash test?
Yeah, that's crash test. How many times did he catch it?
He was getting jacked up, wasn't he?
I mean, he was taking like, is that kid alive? I started doing wrestling, when the wrestler puts his hand up like this.
And that's what I was saying. I was saying last year when he kept getting blasted like he was, that he wasn't going to last very long because he really just didn't understand what to do and how to do it back there, catching those punts.
Fair catch or get down.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Something.
Yeah.
Fair catch, if nothing else. Okay, just catch the ball. Don't let the ball hit the ground. Just catch the ball. But we do, in my opinion, and not just because I'm a receiver, but we need another receiver, particularly because of how much we throw the ball.
Exactly.
We throw the ball a lot. Yes, we do run it, and we're highly ranked in the run area when it comes to offenses in the NFL. But we throw the ball just as much as anybody else. And, one of those guys get dings, it's going to put a whole big stopper, damper, stopper, whatever you want to call it, in that offense.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Because nobody behind them is going to flow like they flow. So what are they just banking on, everybody staying healthy? You know as well as I know, so do you, damn Skippy, that they're not going to stay healthy. It just that's just the way the game is played. Yep. You're not going to stay healthy all the time.
They might have to go to 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, maybe bring
now you limit yourself.
Yeah, you become
now
more
you limit yourself. Yeah, and you become more predictable. So in your opinion, who should they bring in?
Who's out there? Well, I mean, do you really think that Hopkins would come back and be I doubt if he would be the second receiver. I was gonna say third. He won't even come in and be a second receiver. If he thinks that he's the best guy, he'd be number 1.
No, but think like this. All of us may say third receiver, but when they double team everybody else, who are you gonna throw the ball to?
Right, they're gonna throw the ball to DeAndre. If DeAndre was smart, he would see the whole scenario, know that AJ Brown's going to get the number one corner, that DeVonta Smith's going to get the second best corner. He's working with the third best corner, and you know that there's a big drop in the NFL from the best corner to the third corner, and that's who he's working against.
He'll probably be a safety too, because at this point, they got a double guy somewhere, you know.
And that's right. That they're going to eat. He would eat a safety up, and if the Eagles can't see that and go get DeAndre and bring him in, and DeAndre's been around for a while. He's got some years under his belt, so he has not won anything. He's played with some subpar quarterbacks. He's been carrying those quarterbacks. He ought to want to. I would think he would want to come into a situation like this and not have to work as hard, not to have to be the man and carry the team and have a great chance of getting to a Super Bowl to complete his career. And he's still going to catch 60, 70 balls.
Now, before we let you go, the thing that I was saying was just think about how many times Quez Watkins drop the ball. And then think of he already. I don't even know how many yards he had.
And how many fumble. And if DeAndre Hopkins was that guy instead of Quez, yes.
We don't want a Super Bowl.
Hello. Fear is the operative word.
Listen, it's 5:25, Barrett. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, guys.
We're gonna have you back on. We wanted you to be our first guest. We thank you. We know you got to rush out and go do your job, man. But we're gonna have you back, and we're gonna get more deep into this stuff, particularly when the season rolls around, bro. Looking forward.
I can't wait. We need about an hour next time. All right.
Well, the show's only an hour, bro.
Man.
I want to be on the whole time.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have you on for the whole time. Yeah. We're gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get more deep.
Yeah, more detailed.
Have a good one,
not detailed, more deep. All right, Harry. That's my dude right there, man. We had a good time the other day.
Oh yeah,
up there at the penthouse. We on the penthouse. 500.
Was that magazine? Yeah.
Was that Walnut?
Yeah.
Was that 500 Walnut?
Yeah, 500 Walnut Street.
500 Walnut Street. Man, that building was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Up
top, they didn't turn the AC on, so we had to go on the terrace.
But that was okay. It was nice out there on the terrace. What was it? That thing originally was worth $28 million. Now it's worth about 17. They're selling it for 17 million. And that's some stupid money right there. When you have an apartment like that, they didn't put anything in it. They don't even have carpet in there.
Nope.
They don't live there. They just have it. They just have it. They just own it, paying taxes on it and all. That's just stupid money. You know what how many lives they can change with that kind of money, man? It's unbelievable.
How many small countries?
It's you know what? Life is not fair. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
but not fair. Some of us who have are supposed to help those who do not have.
Yes.
That's there's always going to be, the Bible says there's always going to be the poor among you. So there's always going to be people like that who don't have, but there's people who have an abundance and an abundance of abundance. Right. And they're supposed to help the people who don't have.
Yeah. Like the strong is supposed to help the weak.
Yeah. So that's just unreal, man. So listen, I want to just real quick before we get into what we're going to talk about in the second half, and don't forget to remind me about your history. But I wanted to talk real quick, a guy by the name of Bob Brown. Do you know he passed away?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Bob Brown, actually, he's a graduate from the University of Nebraska. Yeah, he died at the age of 81. He was a former defensive tackle, Hall of Famer. He passed away, I think it's Friday. He was a former Eagle, 3-time Pro Bowler, played with the Eagles from 1964 to 68, played every game from 64 to 68. I think it was 64 games. Drafted second overall in 1964 by the Eagles.
Wow. First
team All-Pro, 65, 66, and 68 with the Eagles, man. So our prayers to his family. Another Eagle great has gone on to be with the Lord. Just wanted to shout that out real quick. Also, they just gave up, and doesn't have anything to do with football, but they just stopped the search for that sub.
Yeah.
That small submarine that got lost. I don't understand how that happened. We have some great technology and how they can lose.
Like that. They didn't stop the search. They found
Did they find them?
Yeah,
I just looked it up before, and the latest on my phone, at least on Google, was that they stopped the search.
Yeah, because they're gone. They found the part to let you know that they're gone. Yeah.
So they found the sub.
They found the part that lets them know that they perished.
Okay. And the people on there, man, they paid like $250,000 to go on that sub.
Well, one of them was like the creator of it.
Yeah, that's it's just amazing. Just amazing how some things.
Well, since my buddy, you know Jason Jones, they call him Coffee Jones. Used to play with the Philadelphia Soul. 41 years old, passed away. He was Ron Jaworski's assistant, so a great kid. Yeah, it's Coffee. Yeah, he does. We found out literally actually you and Barrett. I found out from Barrett.
Right.
From the what you call it. But then I saw a couple of posts, and it was like you gotta, man.
Yeah, you never. I think that's people. I think people realize that is a ticket that we all have to punch. Nobody lives forever, at least not on this side. But man, not only should you enjoy life, because you never know when your time has come. You can be young, you can be old. It doesn't matter. Young people die, older people die. From all spectrums of life. Just have your life in order, so that when that time comes, those of us, who believe that there's life after death, we as Christians believe that there's life after death in glory with God. Be ready. Treat people right. Honor people. Give to people. Give of yourself. Make sacrifices where necessary. Do the right thing. Just do the right thing. And man, it's just some of these people that check out before we think it's their time or too early. It's just a reminder, and it's a wake-up call for all of us. You have another read, Big Dog, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do, what we do during the off season. But this is your read. Go ahead.
Yeah, you would give it to me after a somber moment.
Well, yeah. Pick us back up.
Well, everybody knows that the Birds schedule is out. And if you're like me and all the rest of the Birds fans, you want to pick an away trip that will tickle your fancy, that will have you happy and joyful. So go to phillysportstrips.com and look up our trips, our amazing trips, our spectacular trips. We stay in some of the finest hotels, and occasionally you might see a few of your Eagles greats or some other greats on the trips with you. And you get to see me in rare form. Go to phillysportstrips.com. Oh, and phillysportshirts.com. They're together. They're together. You get the damn Skippy t-shirt. But more importantly, go to phillysportstrips.com and get your trip ready for the up-and-coming Eagles season. And tell them you heard it on A2D radio, and tell them the Tank sent you.
The Tank sent you. Yeah. Pro Fan Talk, we see you. He said we got probation for a pizza.
Yes, when we were in college. You remember we were in college, you couldn't accept anything for free.
Right. We got probation if we got a pizza. You're right. Yeah.
I know if you guys are like anything like me and going to those large universities, there were some couple $100 handshakes that you didn't turn down. So we don't need to talk about that out in public. Well, you can now, because what are they going to do? Put us on probation?
No, they're not putting us on probation. But you don't want to get anybody in trouble either. Jonathan Harvey, we see you, man. The Eagles are poor in receiver depth after Brown and Smith. You're right. Howie and the organization are lazy with receiver talent as depth. Yes. I mean, great job acquiring A.J. Brown last year. That took the team, and we all knew it, to a whole nother level. Man. But yes, we do. And I believe those young guys, the Quez Watkins and the Pascals and Greg Wards, they thought that they were going to come around and mature and be productive and be an asset offensively, but they're not. And even with that, they can't even, if you can't get out there as a receiver, if you can't get out in the field and contribute during the offensive plays, you at least have to be able to do something in special teams, whether it's a kick returner, whether it's a punt returner, or going down there and tackling somebody. Yeah. And they're not even doing that.
Yeah. And I think doing that. I think when you look at the draft, the people that they drafted, the list of people that we kept last year who were supposed to do what you just were speaking of, that puts them on notice, because this is also said in '96 when I first got in with you guys. One of the things that the older guys would convey, the more you could do, you better get your ass out there on special teams. It's like you're not gonna get too many team reps. He's like, nope. So you be on the first team, be the first one down there. The only way you really can make the team is the more you can do. So if you're on every special team, they're not planning on letting you go.
That's
but
right.
if you're not on that many special teams, you think you're finna get in the game?
No. And the more you can do, the more you actually create a need for yourself.
Exactly.
So if I can go down and tackle, and I can return punts, and I can go down and tackle on kickoffs, guess what? They can't fill that. They don't have too many guys can do all of that.
Right.
And now I'm needed by the team. And these other guys, like I said, Ward and Pascal and Quez Watkins, those were guys they were trying to get in the game. They were trying to make a part of the offense, make a part of the team, and get out and play. And the more they played, the more they messed up. The more they became.
Well, not only that, I think it's more so it's like you can't really justify having them up. You only have 45 man.
Right.
So you can't really justify having them up if they're not on these special teams.
Well, they were, and plus they were hurting the team. When they did get an opportunity, they didn't come through.
Especially if your name is Crash Test Dummy.
Yeah. And he was just, if they should have just told him, other than trying to run the ball, just catch the ball. Don't let the ball hit the ground so we don't lose 15 or 20 yards because the ball bounces. Just make sure you catch the ball. Fair catch it. If that's all you can do, fair catch it. But he became a crash.
Crash Test Dummy.
I felt sorry for him, man, because I was a punt returner for 8 years, and I know what it's like back then. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get hurt.
You can get blasted.
Yeah, and Cubby's not the biggest of guys either. So he's not the most mobile. He's a little shifty and all, but he doesn't have it. He's not a pro level special teams return guy. He just no. So they need to address that area for sure. Joyce B, we see you. Who else? Joyce B. Yeah.
Yes, Joyce.
Joyce B. I see Pete Evans. I see Rob Brodo. Is it Ryan Brodo? I see you. And Frank Vespi. Thomas Arnone.
I see Chuck.
Yeah. Y'all, we want to share something with you all. Yes. Thanks for being with us today. We're going to talk about I call Holiis every Wednesday night just to see if there's something he wants to discuss on the show. And last night we were kind of scratching our heads a little bit. He was on his way to an event in the car because this time of the year, the football seasons, they're not even having OTAs right now. So it's dull. What's
we're in sports purgatory.
We're in sports purgatory. Yeah, well, I mean, you got the Phillies who are, I don't know what they're doing right now. Did they win today? Did they lose?
They lost to 10 innings, 5-1. But they've been on a little bit of a winning streak. Wait a
minute, they lost in 10 innings, 5-1. So it was 1-1 after 9.
Yeah. Then they gave
up 4 runs. Wow.
Yeah. And we couldn't do anything with our bottom.
And we can't talk about the Sixers because the Sixers are done, and they're going to be done.
What it
looks like to me, they're going to be done for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, again, because I'm a sports guy, but not a football guy, an athlete, and game knows game. Joel Embiid's not a winner. He's not going to win a championship for you. And as long as they have James Harden on that team, they're definitely not going to win anything. And it looks like James Harden is going to be back next year.
And Tobias Harris. Apparently, some teams have been offering to trade for the scumbucket. I mean, Tobias Harris, and they come.
He's not. No, wait a minute. Don't call him scumbucket. He's not that bad. He is what he is, man.
Folks who are listening with us and watching with us, let us know how you feel about Tobias Harris. Would you really kept Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris?
Oh, definitely. Well, we already know they should never have gotten rid of Jimmy Butler. Come on, Jimmy Buckets. They should have never gotten rid of him. Tobias Harris is who. Okay, agree or disagree? Tobias Harris. Agree or disagree? This is Holiis now. Tobias Harris is a scumbucket.
Yeah or nay? Dude, it's like I've never seen
man.
I've never seen nobody so passive that he should be dominating, man. And he shows it. You know what pisses people?
It's the same with Joel Embiid, man. He should be dominating.
I know, but in the paint. Yeah, and I think you need a coach to make him do that though. And
coaches can't make those guys do that, man. They can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. You listened to Doc Rivers' interview last week. He couldn't even get the guys to play. He was upset because
Doc
James
Rivers wasn't the answer. I'm sorry. I'm
just saying to you. Harden would come to him.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid would come to him. And that's the problem. Joel Embiid is not a leader. He just not that he's doing it on purpose. It's just not in him. He's not a leader. And he would take games off when nothing was wrong.
But see, that's what happens when you let losing infiltrate your organization. When you promote losing to get better, you don't get better. You back at the same point you were before you start losing. That's you just, and then you kept the same people around. You tried to build it, and you tried to make them do something different than what you've been doing. It's kind of like when you have somebody in the organization, and you talk about we're going to see if he changes. It's like, no, he's not going to change. You still give him a caveat until you put that fool on punishment. Or send him somewhere else. That's not going to happen.
Well, they're going to get fired if they start punishing guys. The coach will get fired. Here's the Eagles theme song. I mean, not the Eagles, but the Sixers theme song is this. Wah, 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 wah. That's the Sixers theme song.
And it goes to all those people talking about
Jonathan said he agrees that Tobias Harris is a scumbucket. Tobias should be Tatum like. Tobias plays passively. Yeah. He should be Tobias like, but he's not.
Tatum like, yeah.
I wouldn't, but I'm not gonna call him a scumbucket though.
Yeah, scumbucket.
So here's what we want to talk to you all about, or at least
you want me to give it to you, because I can give them the premise real quick. The premise. So last night, Herb Daddy called me, and I was like, "Go ahead." So you started it. So I'm gonna give it to him real quick. Like it's like, so he called, and we were trying to figure out what to talk about on today's show. Everybody else is talking about the what ifs. Right. We like to play in reality. It was like, we're not any GMs or anything, but we like to play in reality. And since we're in what I like to call sports purgatory, I was like, well, we could tell, each one of us could tell what we went through with these 6 weeks off lead before training camp. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay, so
it's your idea. You go first.
So me being the fat guy, when 6 weeks was up, I told him I turned into pretty much a boxer getting ready for a heavyweight championship bout, because I had to probably drop about 25 or 30 pounds. Not only that, I had to prepare for one of the most rigorous conditioning tests known to man. It was when I was with the Eagles. It was 16 half gassers for time with only 35 seconds rest in between. They called it 4 quarters. It was brutal. So
we all did it.
So then, yeah. But it's like, but when I got with the Saints, it was worse. It was 300-yard shuttles with the 50-yard increments. Brutal. Mm-hmm. Now, it's like, so we were talking last night, and I had to diet down, which is one of the main reasons I hate salmon. I was cutting weight, and I didn't want to cut any of my muscle. So my trainer and a nutritionist said, well, each one of your meals is going to be 2 cups of vegetables and some grilled salmon. I was like, so I don't get to have nothing on top of it? How about some lemon juice? Like, lemon juice? No ketchup? No ketchup. Maybe mustard. I was like, but I don't want no mustard on my damn fish. But we were saying this because a lot of guys, and then that's the harsh side of the 6 weeks. Now, I know Irv. I don't know what you did on your 6 week off. You probably, for me, I used to always think that the skinny guys was going on vacation and stuff, partying a little bit, but mostly going on vacation and stuff. What'd you do on the 6 weeks?
Well, first of all, as I got a little bit older, obviously it took more. I started training more and training harder. So I would come in shape to, we called them mini camps back then. They call them OTAs now. I would come in shape to mini camps. When the season was over, at the end of the season, if I wasn't hurt or didn't need any surgery for anything, I would take a month off. I wouldn't do anything for a month. So now we're talking February-ish. And I would start building from there during the off season. I start running 800-meter runs. I do that, then work out in the gym, and then do that for a month, and then go down to 600s, and then go down to quarters. And then as it got closer, like in these 6 weeks here before training camp, I would be in quarter shape. So then I start doing faster stuff. And one of the things I really prided myself on was being prepared to play for 5 quarters, because anytime you went into a game, there's the possibility that you'd have to play overtime. There's a possibility in overtime you'd have to play a whole nother quarter. So I wanted to be in shape for 5 quarters. And given the fact that as a receiver, in my opinion, a receiver runs more than anybody on the field, even the defensive backs. You know, we got to run to the huddle. We got to run to get set up. Then we got to run to catch the DB. Then we got to run all the way back to the huddle. A lot of those DBs stay out on the corners, or safety stay deep. We do more running than anybody else on the field. So I was always prepared to do more running. So I would train like this. What do you say? Like, let's just do 60 plays. Let's say, and it's a little bit more than that, but on the average, let's say in a game you run 60 plays, right? So let's say that's 15 plays a quarter, right? So I would run, and there's 45 seconds in between each play, correct?
Correct.
So I would run 100 meters. I would probably more like 3/4 speed, maybe a little less than 3/4 speed. Run 100 meters, rest 45 seconds, then run another 100 meters and do 15 of those. That's 1/4. And I would do, and then I'd rest probably 15 minutes, and then I'd do it a second quarter, rest 15 minutes, do a third quarter. So I would do 4 quarters. Then I would do a 5th quarter as it got closer to training camp. And it just got me in such good shape, because you don't run 100 meters every time you run as a receiver, but I was running 100 meters for 4 quarters on every play. And that just really, and I would work on my breathing, because as you start getting tired, if you work on your breathing, I try to get my breathing to the point to where I was almost breathing normal before the ball was snapped again, even though I may have been a little winded. So it really worked, and it played a big part, particularly when we were doing 2-minute drills. You know, I could run all the way down the field, run all the way back to the huddle, and work on my breathing while I was in the huddle, listening to the next play, get out and run the next play and feel good. So that's really, I would build myself up to get to training camp. And then I would also, because I wanted to make sure I had a good training camp and felt good going into the season, because it's important to come in and do well in training camp. I would always prepare myself to run routes against the best corner that we had on our team. I wouldn't worry about corners or guys that I was going to face during the season. Right. But I had, you can't do the same thing all the time against a guy like Troy Vincent, who I see every day. So I would prepare myself or prepare to beat Troy every day. So I would, I'd have to do something different, bring wrinkles, some originality, some new stuff. And as long as I could beat Troy, I get out in the field during the game. It was easy. Yeah. It was easy because Troy knew me. Troy knew what I was going to do. He knew what I could do, and vice versa. So it was a battle all the time against the best corner, but I would always prepare myself during the off season to come into training camp and do well, have a good training camp against our best corner.
Now there was a myth that was going around through the entire time that I played sports, high school, college, and professional. And when I got winded, they would be like, stand up, all the good air's up top. I was like, nah, all the good air is right about knee level.
No, the good air is down on the ground. Lay down.
I'm like, dude, he's like, you'll feel better if you stand up. No, I will not. But I was working on my breathing, but it was mostly laying down. So,
hey, Ralph, do we have any more commercials?
I think we got one more.
Do we have one more?
I thought it was one more. I thought it was one more about the lady.
Yeah, I thought there was one more. Yeah.
Yes,
coming up now. He said coming up now. I saw one of the chat or his private chat, and I didn't know if it was the last one or not.
Oh.
We're going to commercial.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter? My in-studio assistant is telling me something about eating.
Eating what?
Say it out loud. Key. The key? Oh, it's in my car in the cup holder. Consistency is key. So are you excited about the season this year, man?
I'm extremely excited about the season. It's I think we went out and picked a bunch of young players that finally I think the city is excited about. You know, so many times before we would screw the pooch and draft a fireman. And
did you say drop the fireman?
Yes, draft the fireman and Danny Watkins.
Okay.
They would be telling us that the sky is red, but when they're doing the draft and drafting what's the kid out of Louisville, the defensive end out of Louisville, that was a bust.
Yeah.
But it's like when you look at it now, it seems like he's making all the right moves.
Right.
And,
right.
It's like, and then the bad taste in your mouth for the Super Bowl once you see these guys get back there and actually win it this time.
But so you know what? I didn't really have a bad taste. I mean, I was disappointed that they didn't win because I had plans to do certain things and they messed up my plans. and I couldn't make as much money as I wanted to make because they lost. But I don't, you know, it wasn't heartbreaking for me because of what they had built and what they had coming the next year. I knew the team was going to pretty much stay together. Yeah, we're going to lose a few pieces, but they were solid and they were going to be back and be a legitimate contender the next few years. And that's where they are. Yeah. Maybe even have put themselves in a better position this year going into to the season. So, I mean, I'm excited too. We'll see. Listen, you're not in studio because you were out in Lancaster, correct?
Correct.
You're out in Lancaster. You're actually contributing out there at a little camp or something. What do you have going on out there?
Well, yes, myself and Mark McMillan have been doing a camp out. A couple of camps for kids. Mark is he's got a little bullying thing going on, but I actually did it last year for the first time, and they invited me back. I did so well. So today we actually were at I forgot, there was a Willow Valley. It was a senior assisted living place, really plush. But a lot of their grandkids was coming there, and I think they just used us as a run the energy out of them.
Oh, so did you do any training or any kind of coaching today for the kids?
Yeah, we did a bunch of training. We just did some coaching, and we had them do a relay race because it was kind of funny because they was like, yeah, just run some of the energy out of them, and I saw why. It was kids from ages 7 or 8 to like 12 or 13. So right. it was the kids were nice and stuff, but then we also have the one that's for kids that I don't think they're being bullied, but we stress being basically a good citizen, a good Samaritan, and not being a bully. That was one of the things that Mark has got he was on the Gordon Ramsay show, and he's got the spices and the sauces and stuff.
Yeah, he got chopped. I was watching that show when he got let go. I didn't think that he should have been let go. I thought he was doing a good job.
I'll be the judge of that in a minute. He's over at Gracie's, the diner here called Gracie's. He's over there cooking for about a couple hundred people.
Oh, he's cooking? Really?
Yes, that's where he is now. And
nice.
Tomorrow we have the golf outing. You came to the golf outing last year.
Right. Yeah, I came to the golf outing last year. I won't be there this year because Jaworski's tournament the same. It's going to rain on all of our heads.
Well, as you know, I don't play golf
anymore. Well, but see, you're the smart one. At least you'll be the smartest one tomorrow because we're all going to be wet trying to play golf, clubs slipping out of our hands out there trying to honor our commitment. And it's for the kids. So we're going to, I got a note today, an email from Trish, who is Jaworski's assistant. She said, the events are going on, rain or shine. It's for the kids. So it's going to rain tomorrow. So I have my rain gear on. Listen, it's time for History with Holiis. You got some history for us?
Yes, I do. And today is June the 23rd, 2023. It's the 173rd day of the year. There's 192 of these puppies remaining. Today's national holidays today is Chocolate Eclair Day.
Chocolate
delicious.
Eclair?
Yes.
On a stick or just?
No, just a chocolate eclair itself. A real chocolate eclair, not the frozen one. Those people, the Good Humor Good Humor stopped producing those. I was a little miffed at that.
Yeah, we used to get those in school. The chocolate eclairs on the stick. We used to get those for dessert in school.
Yeah. So then it's also, if you haven't done it yet, today is National Onion Ring Day.
Ew.
You know onion rings?
No.
Batter dipped and fried, man?
No. You eat enough onions, it starts coming out of your pores. You start smelling like an onion.
Yeah, some people don't need onions to do that. But in 1847, the very first ring donut was supposedly created by Hanson Gregory.
With the hole in it?
Yeah,
with the hole in it.
Yeah, the ring.
Okay.
The first ring donut was supposedly created.
So what were donuts before the ring donut?
They were like the eclairs. They were long.
Just long. They were long.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1933, the National League, the MLB's National League, approved the players were wearing the number on the back of their jersey. Mm-hmm. And in 1940, you should notice the running thing. In 1940, the very first Dairy Queen opens up in Joliet, Illinois.
Wow.
I only had a couple of birthdays. I had 1949 Meryl Streep and 1953 Cyndi Lauper.
I saw a post today with a Dairy Queen truck pulled up in front of a McDonald's.
Yeah, and I
from your post. It was your post.
They finally gonna fix the ice cream machine now.
They called an official ice cream man.
Yeah, they called him the pro to fix the ice cream machine. Yeah, when you grow up actually anywhere you go, anytime you would ask for a soft serve or an ice cream, they would always say the machine is broke.
At McDonald's?
Yeah, they used to. Back in the day.
I've never gotten ice cream from McDonald's before.
Well,
matter of fact, I haven't eaten McDonald's in probably 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah, I don't feel any kind of way about it. I get my ice cream where I can.
So what is your favorite kind of ice cream?
Delicious. Strawberry. Strawberry, really.
Guess what mine is? Mine's
What's
just
that?
plain vanilla.
Plain vanilla? Okay.
Plain vanilla.
Okay.
No chunks in it, no fruit in it, it's got to be smooth. And that's the same with pudding. Vanilla pudding. It can't be rice pudding with the gritty stuff in it. No, it's got to be smooth. Pudding got to be smooth.
Just don't hang out with Bill Cosby.
Just like sandwiches. A sandwich has to have soft bread. I can't stand a sandwich that doesn't have soft bread. If the bread is not super soft, like Wonder Bread, not that I should be eating Wonder Bread because Wonder Bread is not good for you. But if it's not soft like that like the potato bread, man, if it's soft, it's the best.
Yeah, like the Hawaiian rolls.
What? Whoa! Man, I'll eat a whole. My wife buys 2 of them. She'll buy two packages of them. One for me and one for both of us. Because I'll eat one of them just sitting there all by itself, man. Oh my gosh.
Like a hot can of Grand's biscuits.
Whew. Good God Almighty.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Listen, I think that's it for today.
We finally finished on time.
Well, we finished on time. It's all right. We went a little bit over last week. But we'll be back next week.
We'll
have
be
some
back
exciting
next week.
stuff going on. It's getting close to football season, man. I'm starting to itch. My feet are starting to itch.
But before we get out of here, I just forgot one question I wanted to.
Yeah, but I get when you start remembering stuff, I get a little squeamish.
It's just the guy. I've been watching the sports outlets and the football outlets, and everybody's talking about just the AFC and who's going to win the AFC East. And I was like, don't they know that's the rest of the league is playing as well? I was like, they keep talking about Aaron Rodgers going over there and guys who can't stay on the field in Miami. I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah, they're not. I don't think. Again, to your point, I like Tua, and we know the competition that took place between him and Jalen in college, and Tua won the national championship, and how that goes. But I really, deep down, don't think that he's going to make it through a season based on what happened last year. Not that he's not tough, not that he doesn't want to, I just think based on what happened last year and how easy it was for him to be knocked, into concussion protocol or knocked out, that he's not going to make it. He won't make it. Not even. Hey, wait a minute. Not even up to the time that the Eagles play the Dolphins. I don't think he'll be playing.
He took jiu-jitsu to learn how to fall. What the hell?
Well, whoever his sensei was should have been fired.
Well, no, I'm talking about they just started doing all this year. I was like,
well, again, his sensei should be fired.
I'm talking about they just started doing that.
I understand that.
I was like, seriously, dude?
But listen, you're a professional athlete. You don't know how to fall.
And
You're a professional football player. You don't know how to fall?
I don't know why. I don't know why. You playing all your life. You get to the pinnacle, and now you need to know how to fall.
That's what I'm saying. You're a professional football player. You don't know how to fall? Come on.
But just all the other years you played, you yet to learn how to fall. You went to get to your mid-20s, your early to mid-20s to need a coach to learn how to fall, and not somebody who plays football.
Right.
You get from an ass kicking machine.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And Aaron Rodgers is not going to save the world.
No.
You know, he's not going to save the world with a Jets uniform on, or because he has a Jets uniform on. He's going to win some games, and he's going to surprise some people. And yes, he does have a chip on his shoulder. We mentioned that some shows ago. He has a chip on his shoulder, and he'll probably play well. And he's got some good, he's got some good talent around him. He's got a great running back, got a great receiver, Garrett, who's first rounder. He's got a first round running back. So he'll do well. But is he going to win? And you know what? He may even win the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
He may even win the AFC East because I don't see.
It's
the only formidable competition he has is Buffalo.
Hey, you got to look at the Dolphins. Are going to be fun. The
Dolphins will be fun, but they won't have a quarterback.
Yeah, and you got to look at this too. He just got there. You got to build some continuity with the people.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's why it's a team game. So it's not going to be easy. Put it that way.
Right. But you know what? If he won the AFC East, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. But obviously, there's a whole lot of things that got to take place. But they've got good talent around him. It's not like he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. It's not like they don't have a good defense. They do have a good defense.
Yeah.
That offensive line needs to be, there's some question marks.
Exactly.
There's some question marks about the offensive line. But again, Buffalo, Miami are his two foes, the two biggest foes.
Yep.
I don't think New England is going to be even in the picture this year because Buffalo is going to beat them down. Miami's going to beat them down, and the Jets probably will beat them down as well.
I think they're going to surprise you because they brought a real
Patriots.
They brought a real offensive coordinator back, and they got some nice receivers up there. They got DeVonta Parker and they got
but again, like you said, if they can't hold up front, what good is it?
Okay,
what good is it?
They
601.
Okay.
You're gonna miss the party tonight, man. We're going to Jaws pairings party tonight at Live.
Yeah, I'm about to go to this other party over here where Mark is cooking a ball ass spread of fine food.
Okay, well, take a picture of the food and let me know if it's good or not. All right.
If the food lasts that long. All right.
Listen, y'all, thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, same purpose. Vetted with Irving Fryar, Hollis Thomas. I'm Irving. That's Holiis. We'll see you next week.